What's up, issue? For today's video, with a full Shroodle evolution team, we've got Shroodle and Grafaiai. These two Pokemon are actually pretty interesting. They got some cool moves and interesting abilities. Unburden, Pickpocket, Poison Touch, and Prankster. So I'm going to be using two Shroodle and true Grafaiai on this team to see if I can get some W's. I had some very, very good battles this team, so I really hope you enjoy. We have got 7 battles today. All right, our first opponent here, we have a random opponent, and they have got a Miraidon lead. Now, question of the day, or just the question today, what do you think of Grafaiai or Shroodle? Do you like them? Let me know in the comment section. If you want to support the channel and the videos and see them more often, make sure you hit that like button. All right, so our first Shroodle here is a Nasty Plot set, Special Sweeper. So we've got Nasty Plot, Sludge Wave, Mud Shot, and Endeavor, Terra, Poison. My item is going to be Focus Sash, and I've got the ability Unburden. So with the Unburden and the Focus Sash combination, that's going to allow me to outspeed very, very fast Pokemon like this Miraidon, unless they got, like, you know, a choice item and things like that. So I'm going to be going for that Nasty Plot, getting my special attack up. So I'm thinking here, should I go for Mud Shot or should I go for Endeavor? In the end, I actually changed my mind. I decided to go for Endeavor instead. So what I should have probably done there is go for Endeavor first, get the Unburden, and feint the Miraidon. But, you know, it is what it is. I changed my mind halfway through the battle. So this thing was very difficult because I only had 4 Pokemon, and I had obviously all the same weaknesses too, which made them always a very good challenge. So this set here is very, very similar, except it's a physical version of it. And it's got Terra Flying too. Now this Shroodle, like the other one, we've got the IV set up for 0 IVs in health, and the defense and special defense. And this one is Lonely Nature with max attack and max speed. The other Shroodle before was max special attack and max speed, mild nature, so both dropping the defense there. So I've got my Sword Dance boost up. Acrobatics is going to do donkeys, but it's only on 1 health, so I can go for that, you know, which is going to be really, really good. I quite like this Pokemon. It's interesting. Could see like another artist kind of Pokemon. You know, you've got Smeagol and Grafaiai. I don't know. Maybe I could do like a painting or artist kind of team. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. What do you reckon? So we got Smeagol and Grafaiai. That's pretty good. If you can think of any other team members for a painting or art style team, let me know in the comments. I really like to hear if you can think of anything. I've got the obvious too, but I got to think of the other ones. All right, so we got a Garchomp coming in here. I was seriously considering going for acrobatics here, but I was like, I don't know if a Garchomp is going to have rough skin or anything like that, but I'm going to go for it anyway. I have to get some damage, so I'm going to be going for the Terra Flying on 1 HP, and I thought Garchomp might go for Earthquake here, and if it does, that'll essentially give me a free turn, if it lives, that is. So going for acrobatics at +2, and it lived, right? And it's going to go for Dig instead. I was like, wait, this is a rare opportunity. I can actually go for Sword Dance again, get another Sword Dance up, and then Dig's got to do nothing because I've got the Terra Flying. I guess I just presumed that, you know, they'd be feinting me anyway. So now I've got another Sword Dance up on the Shroodle, and Dig is not going to affect me. So this is great. This is +4 in attack, which is absolutely incredible. So I can go for Acrobatics again. I didn't want to risk going for Gunk Shot at all because of that shaky accuracy, and that is going to be the end of Garchomp. So I've taken 2 Pokemon now. So we're getting a Shroodle sweep at the moment. Well, the start of the battle, right? Next Pokemon we got here is going to be Toxtricity. So I thought, well, it resists both of these moves, but Acrobatics is very, very powerful at the moment. It's double base power. I've got +4 in attack. I've got Terra Flying. Let's just go for it, right? It's not exactly a bulky Pokemon, and Toxtricity is going to get dropped as well. So that's 3 Pokemon down. Shroodle is popping off. Now, the next Pokemon to come in here is going to be another Miraidon. Man, the little Timmy's around on full force today on the Poke Portal. So I was like, well, I guess I'll go for Gunk Shot. I think it's going to live if I go for Acrobatics because it is resist that flying move, and possibly a Might Terra. So they decided to Terra, and it's going to be Terra Dragon. So I was like, oh, I could have gone for it. That's such a shame, but I had no idea what Terra they were going to go for. So going for Gunk Shot anyway, at +4, drops it. That is 4 Pokemon down. we're getting a Shroodle sweep. Now, I've actually never done a Shroodle sweep on my channel before, let alone Grafaiai, right? So that's 4 down. Things are going really, really solid, right? Next Pokemon is going to be Raichu. I'm not going to write you a love song today. We'll do that tomorrow. So I've got Acrobatics. Like, the only thing I was worried about was Gunk Shot missing or static activating and paralyzing Shroodle, right? There was one more Pokemon left after this too. You know, I was so close. I was thinking about, like, do I risk it or not? Because if I get paralyzed, I'll probably get outspeed. So I'm going to go for Acrobatics here, hoping that Raichu is going to faint, which I'm pretty confident it is. No Focus Sash, no static. Raichu gets rolled out like a lounge room rug, and that switch goes right out the window. There's a salty baby bottle, a Shroodle sweep. Incredible stuff there. If you thought that was fire, make sure you hit that like button, leave me a comment there, and let's go on to the next battle. The last Pokemon on their team was a Duraludon. Now, I did the damage calcs, right? And here's the rub, right? We've got a Duraludon with no Everlight. It has a 31% chance to be fainted by Acrobatics. So they could have lived their Acrobatics, right? But we'll never know. But if they had Everlight, there was no way I was taking them out. So take that one with a grain of salt. I'm not sure whether they had Everlight or not, but if they didn't, there was a 30% chance that I could have got that entire sweep. But what a crazy battle there, squeezing absolutely everything out of a Shroodle. So once again, we've got a Garchomp set up here. I'm going to go for Endeavor and put that down to 1 health. And now, since I've got my Unburden activated, doubling my speed, I can just finish it off with Sludge Wave. So my Unburden fear strategies work very, very well on this team. Essentially, when you look at it, this Shroodle and the other Shroodle could almost take out 3 to 4 Pokemon each if they didn't have any counters. I mean, there's a lot of counters. I bumped into a lot of people that set up Stealth Rock. You know, the usual easy-to-use sort of stuff there. But outside of that kind of thing, it performed actually really, really well. So we got a Miraidon coming in here again there. It's going to faint me, which is fine. I've got Endeavor first, putting Miraidon on 1 health. The only thing that could be annoying to get around it too if they had some berries like Citrus Berry, but usually I'd have enough base power and like a stab move like Sludge Wave or Gunk Shot to actually fight them. So with another Shroodle number 2 here, we've got Sword Dance, Acrobatics, Endeavor, you know the set, and we've got another Electro. So Miraidon's just spamming the A button here, and I've got that 1 HP lift. So now I can get myself a free Sword Dance up here and finish them off. Also, obviously, priority moves and things would take this out too. But, you know, outside of the obvious counters, they perform very, very well. And, you know, I think it took a lot of people by surprise. So I've got Acrobatics to use here. I've got that +2 in attack, and it does hit very, very hard. And I was contemplating actually going for Terra Flying here. But I was like, nah, I won't Terra. I won't use Terra yet. I'll see if I can, you know, maybe save it for another Pokemon or just use it when I have to, right? So we got Garchomp down. We got Miraidon down. Things are going absolutely juicy. Now, watch this, right? So in comes the homie Palkia. It's floating, and I was going, all right, I was thinking, if I go Terra Flying here, this is going to hit very hard, but will it take it out in 1 shot? Because the Origin forms are very, very tanky. Even a sweeping set, they've got very, very nice bulk. And, you know, after all, it is, let's be real, it is a Shroodle too. It's not a, you know, it's not a Zacian, right? So Shroodle's got base 65 in attack, which is, it's nothing to write home to mama out, right? So we're going to go for that Terra Flying here. I'm going for Acrobatics. I've got +2. I'm like, this is going to do a lot of damage regardless. So here it goes. Almost takes it out, but they used Earth Power, and I was immune to that, granting me another free turn. So it's like, wow, that was so good, right? They got played like a fiddle. So going for the Acrobatics again, and Palkia Origin is going to be going down. This Shroodle is popping off. I need to get a Shroodle sweep, right? Shroodle needs to have its own video, you know what I'm saying? I know that I can get it, right? Next Pokemon is Eternatus, and Eternatus is very thick. So I was like, all right, I've got Endeavor. I can put that on 1 HP, yeah? That's obvious. But if I can feint this Acrobatics crit, I feel like I need a crit after seeing Palkia's damage, because Eternatus is bulky, or as bulky or bulkier, right? So going for Acrobatics, and it was about 3/4 damage. So it was very, very good. However, the Eternatus had a berry too, so there was no way I was ever going to one-shot that unless I got a crit with, you know, Acrobatics. So they're going to go, was that Flash Cannon? Wait, I don't know. They fainted me anyway. It doesn't really matter. That's the end of Shroodle. But a real quality performance there by Shroodle. So next one we got here is Grafaiai. I'm actually using the fully evolved Pokemon now. And with Grafaiai, I actually don't mind it. Shiny looks really, really cool. So this is a Doodle Toxic Super Fang set. I decided to include its signature move there. It's a pretty fun move. So what it does, right, it copies the opponent's ability, or doubles a copy there with the ally, and or whatever you want to use there, and you get the ability. So it's really cool. So they're going to use Flash Cannon again on my Grafaiai. It doesn't do a lot of damage, so I thought I'll go for Super Fang. What I'm going to do here is try and press this Eternatus, try and get as much damage on it as possible. Now, the bad thing here in this matchup, we've got a Terra Poison, so it's going to be hitting very hard, but I'm lucky that I'm going to resist that, and I've also got Rest and Chesterberry, so it works pretty good. Now, this one had Prankster as the ability, so my status moves were going first, so using Rest, Toxic, and Doodle, they all went first, and I had Chesterberry too, so instead of a Rest Sleep Top. Anyway, so I got that going, and then it turns into Recover, so I'm like, this is a big problem, right? I've got only a limited amount of Pokemon left. This is very bulky. I've got one decent move on my other Pokemon, but I really need to see if I can out-predict this Eternatus. I sort of know what their movesets now. They've got, they got a Poison move, which is still doing a lot. They've got Flash Cannon. They clearly don't have a Dragon type move like Dynamax Cannon, as they would have used it already, and they've got Recover, right? So I feel like now, if I go for a Super Fang, at this point I was already planning it, if I swap into my next Pokemon, I'm pretty confident they're going to go for Recover, judging on how they've played so far. So that's the end of my other Grafaiai. That one also was Max Health and Max Defense, Impish Nature, Prankster, Chesterberry as, EVs and ability and stuff like that. So this Grafaiai is a fully physical sweeping set. We've got Max Attack and Max Speed, Jolly Nature, Citrus Berry as the item, Poison Touch. So I thought, they're going to go for Recover. So I went for Sword Dance, got the Sword Dance up. They went for Recover, which is good. So I was like, this is going to do a lot of damage. Do I risk another Sword Dance here, or do I go for Double Edge? If I go for Double Edge and I don't feint it, I'm cooked, right? That's the end of the battle. And they've still got one very, very powerful Pokemon after this as well, and another one too. So I'm thinking the only way for me to win or even stay in this battle is to go for another Sword Dance. That'll essentially give me +4 attack. I've got a Citrus Berry as well, ready to rock and roll. So I'm going for that, right? This actually gets some really good base speed as well with Jolly Nature. They're going to go for the Sludge Bomb. So clearly they don't have a Dragon move at all. There must be some other move. It's probably like Toxic or something like that. And that does just over half my health, which is good, because I've got another Sword Dance, and Citrus Berry is going to give me a bit of health back. So the only downside to this is Eternatus does have a lot of health. So I'm going for Double Edge. Incredible damage there taking out Eternatus, but I'm going to take some real nasty recall damage. So with Double Edge, you take 33% recall. Look at my health, right? It's going to be really low. Next Pokemon is Kyurem White. I'm down to, 73 health, but I've got Low Kick. I was like, I put Low Kick on there for Steel types, and I'm thinking, that'll be great, right? I won't have to go for Double Edge. Kyurem White gets dropped like a sack of potatoes, and that's awesome, right? So I got one more Pokeball left here, and the last Pokemon, you wouldn't read about it, what it is, right? It was a Hakamo, and there must have been some kind of Everlight set. So I was like, okay, I don't think Low Kick's going to faint, because it's not going to be that heavy. It's got Everlight, so it's going to live. I have to go for the full load here. I've got to unload the full load with Double Edge. I know that I'm going to faint, but I'm going to faint at first, so I should get the W. That is going to go down, and Grafaiai is going to go down as well. But what a splendid battle there with this team. I really feel like I squeezed absolutely everything out of this team and got an amazing battle there. Thank you to my random opponent there. If anyone can translate these names as well, you are the absolute GOAT. I always appreciate it. And let's get on to our third battle. I hope you're enjoying the battle so far. If you are, make sure you give that like button a hit. Tell me what you think of Grafaiai, or just tell me how your day's going. I love you guys to leave comments and stuff. I always read them over breakfast. It doesn't have to be about the video. It could be about anything, Anyway, this is another random. This is actually a really interesting battle. So we got Arceus lead here, and it's Arceus Dark, and they're going to go for Perish Song, which sort of took me by surprise. I thought, all right, is this going to be? Might just be, typical extreme speed set, insert normal Arceus sets, but they went for a Perish Song, so that's very interesting. So I'm going for my boosting move here. The Perisong's up. We've got 3 turns left. So I was like, oh, I could go for Gunk Shot. Let's go for that. So I'm going for Gunk Shot. They're going to hit me with a Judgment, taking me all the way down to health. And Unburdened is going to activate with Focus Sash, which is going to be really, really nice. I did try a couple of Pickpocket sets, but they never even performed close to the Unburdened Focus Sash sets. And with this sort of team, I absolutely needed both of them right. As you can see, it's a very, very difficult team to run there. So Arceus is going to get dropped by Acrobatics, no extreme speed. So like, okay, that's interesting. So I was like, okay, I wonder what's going to happen next. Their entire team, right, was all different Arceus. And I was like, that's kind of interesting, right? So I was expecting extreme speed, but no. It wasn't. Then they went Thunder Wave. So I think they expected me to swap there, predicting a extreme speed. So sometimes you come across Japan, and of course the 3 turns had been up too. So I think they expected me to swap there. That's why they went Thunder Wave. But sometimes you bump into some Japanese players, right, and they have these really interesting teams, right? They're not just like standard teams and stuff. I mean, there are a lot like that, but sometimes you get some really unique battles, and this was one of them, right? So next Pokemon Grafaiai, I've got Super Fang. I was like, wow, a Super Fang kill. This is rare, right? But I thought I'll go for Toxic here, just in case it's got some kind of healing move. You know, that'd be very, very bad. So I've got that Prankster Toxic. That's going to faint the Arceus. And Arceus has got Earth Power. Earth Power does a lot of damage to me. It's an Arceus. The thing about Arceus too, even a sweeping set that has no bulk built to it all is really, really tanky. So the next one we got is Arceus, the Once Imperfect. Now, this is a Grass type Arceus. Like, oh, this is interesting. I've got Super Fang or I've got Toxic. I thought, well, I have to be real here. I know that I'm not going to be able to outspeed this, so probably my best play here would be to go for the Toxic. At least I can do something for a faint. But they went for the Terra, and they got Terra Stella. And that's cool, right? So I'm going for Toxic. I don't know what to expect, because Arceus gets a lot of moves as well. One day I'm going to do an Arceus moveset guide, but I'll do like every single play. That could be a really fun video. I'd actually like to do that, but it'll take a long time to do too. But I don't know though. Would you like to see an Arceus video? I could do all the different cool movesets on it. It'd be really interesting. Anyway, they're going to use Dragon Claw, which took me by surprise there. So as I said, like, you don't know what's going to happen, right? So that's the end of my Grafaiai, and so I've got 1 Shroodle and 1 Grafaiai left. So things are looking a bit hairy, scary at the moment. So I thought, well, you'd have to think they're going to faint me here, or at least put me down to 1 health. So if I go Nasty Plot and then Sludge Wave, that should be enough to actually take them out. So they're going to go for Dragon Claw again. Even without the Stellar Boost, it's going to put me on 1 health with my very weakened IVs and stuff like that for defense. So I've got that going. They're going to take some more damage, but I thought, if I go Sludge Wave here, it's super effective. They've got Grass type. I could Terra Poison, but I thought, I don't want to waste that. So I'll go for Sludge Wave and hope that it faints, right? And it was probably just enough to faint the Arceus. Like, I know that it was super effective, but Arceus has got some insane bulk to it, right? So that's 3 of them down. So that's good, but there's 3 more Arceus left, right? So the next one to come out here is going to be Arceus. That's Arceus Electric, I believe. Yeah, so that's Arceus Electric. See how Mudshot's super effective? Some of these Arceus forms too, how they look, they can be very deceiving. Like, you might think, oh, it's water, right? But it'll be flying or dragon, so some of the colors can throw you off. So I thought, let's go for an Endeavor, but they're going to go for a Perisong, so it's another interesting Perisong set. Maybe they didn't expect me to have Endeavor on this set because I started using Nasty Plot. So I'll put them down to 1 health there. I haven't even seen Extreme Speed yet, which is quite baffling, to be honest. And they're going to faint. So that's 4 Arceuses down there. So it must be some kind of, maybe a trapping Perisong set. Next one is Arceus, the Vintage Beauty. Is it Steel? Why? No, it's not Steel, because this is flying. See what I mean? This is flying, because you've seen that Mudshot had no effect at all. So they're going to use Judgment, and that's going to take out the Shroodle. But that looks so much like flying. Steel. Like that's steel color. Okay, so we've got 1 Pokemon. I've got Grafaiai left. I was like, man, I think I'm cooked here, right? I have to get Sword Dance up, but I'm thinking, do I try and do it against the next one? But I don't know what the next set's going to be, so it could be unsuspected. So I was like, I'll take the risk. I'll go for knockoff and get rid of this thing. I don't want to get hit by a unknown move like maybe Earth Power or something like that. Last Pokemon is Arceus, the Wish Granter, and it is the shiny, and that's, I believe that's water. It's either water or dragon. I was, as you can see, I was checking them there. So I was thinking, okay, I've got Sword Dance. I'll go for that, and then I could go for Double Edge. Will that take it out with Terra Normal? I think I've got a pretty good chance because, Arceus is bulky, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. I've got Citrus Berry. I should be able to live whatever move they use and then Double Edge again, or try that. I wasn't sure. I had no idea what they're going to use, right? Because as you got to see, they've used like so many different movesets so far. So go for that Sword Dance there, +2 and attack. Beautiful stuff. Arceus is going to go for an Overheat. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty good because it dropped their special attack. So clearly they've got a special Arceus. And I know that I can live another Overheat. So I'm like, if they don't have a water move, which I don't think it gets outside of Terra, I should be able to live this if it is a fully special set. So going for Double Edge, +2 with the Terra, with Double Edge, Arceus still lives. It's so bulky, but I got a Poison Touch right at the end there. It activates. It's like, what's it going to use, right? I'm down to the last little bit of health here. Citrus Berry is going to activate, and it's going to give me a little bit left. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm living an attack here. I mean, they got a special attack drop. They popped another Overheat, and guess what? I lived on 15 health. And the poison from the Poison Touch actually takes him out there. You wouldn't read about it. It was just such a crazy battle. So thinking of their random opponent, I'll give them props there. I mean, they use legendaries, but at least they use some interesting sets, right? They were all different and unique. So shout out to whoever that was on the Poker Portal. Really fun team. I thoroughly enjoyed that battle. Good use of all Arceus' cool moves that it gets there. Let's get on to battle number 4. This is a battle against Super Bowser, and we have a random nicknames team from the surprise straight here. Now, I recently just did this team too, if you want to actually check it out. I did it a couple of days ago. Now, I've been getting them, I'm not sure if you've been noticing, but I've been getting that content out a lot faster, the theme teams and stuff like that. So I hope you've been enjoying that, but we're at a really good, a really good pace now of getting stuff out there. So I'm going to hold that now and keep going. I want to work a few more Pokemon sweeps into our routinely uploads, right? So I'll be bringing some of them back as well. Now I've got some extra spare time and things like that. So this side I got Metronome. It popped it right, and then it got crushed. It crushed the little Shroodle. That was disrespectful. So I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm taking this Psyduck out. I've got to take it out. So we're gonna go into the second Shroodle here. Now this Shroodle was the physical. Yeah, this is the physical one here. Now the Golduck only had a little bit of health left, so I could use any move. I thought, if he gets Metronome and it gets like an annoying move, it might be bad. So I'll just get rid of it because you never know what it's going to use. It could use something very, very detrimental to this set. It could drop my speed or something. That's the end of that. Next Pokemon going to be blisters. Oh man, one day I got some really, really bad blisters. I'm not joking. They were covering my entire foot. It was like a big blister. I reckon it was my whole foot was a blister. It was one of the most painful things ever. It was when I was a younger person, right? And I was running around a lot on the hot concrete for a good few hours and stuff like that. And I didn't really notice it until the end of the day. But then I had these massive blisters and it really hurt. What I did, right, it was painful, but I got rid of it. I went into the ocean and put them straight in salt water. It stung so badly, but they heal really fast. But there we go. There's the. I was doing these high jumps. I'm not sure. It should be called the same thing over there. Like you have a mattress, right? You get that mattress on the ground. You get them poles up next to it. You put that bar across, and you got to jump over the bar, right? See how high you can jump. I used to be really, really good at that. You do the Fosby flop and stuff like that. That's like a technique when you jump over the bar, scissor kick and that sort of thing. You lift your legs up. If you've done that before, you know what I'm talking about. But that was a very, very painful story, that one. The blister story. Anyway, that's the end of Blissey. It got destroyed there, and we got a flame coming out here. I don't know. I don't know why I went for it. I think I was testing something out here. I've got Toxic on this Talonflame here, and I'm thinking maybe I should go for Doodle and get its ability. That could be handy, but I had to also give up Prankster, which wasn't a good thing either, but I thought it'd be fun. So I actually lived that very, very nicely. This tanky defensive set, Live and Flare bits beautifully, and I've got that Toxic going too. So I thought, maybe I could get the Flame Body ability for one of the next Pokemon if it's a physical attack. I was thinking about that too. Now, I was like, let's go for Rest here. I'll see if I can HP stall this Talonflame. They critted me with Steel Wing. At least I think some of these moves too. And yeah, of course, I get Flame Body there after I was thinking about getting it, but I was going for a Rest anyway. But I think some of these moves for this team, I can't be 100% sure, but I think some of these moves came with the Pokemon and they were made in the sets, you know? It could be fun to do that. Another one I haven't done for a while is Terra. Like, what I do is I go into Terra raids, and I get 6 random Terra raids, and then I make a team out of it. You know, I keep all the natures and give them EVs and items and stuff like that. That was pretty fun too. Anyway, we're going to catch some Z's there. Wake up. We're not burned anymore. We don't need a burn heal. And Talonflame is going to hit me with a Steel Wing. Now, that's got one more turn to live. So I thought if I go for Doodle here, I'll copy that ability. So go for Doodle there, copying the Flame Body on Grafaiai. So obviously it's not going to work on Talonflame, but maybe on another Pokemon, a physical attacking Pokemon, it could be good. But then the Talonflame turned around and used Roost, so it was a disaster. It really, really was. I mean, it didn't have a lot of turns to live anyway, but I thought it was going to faint that turn to, like, you know, Flare Blitz Recall or, you know, or whatever. So I was like, I'll just go for Super Fang again. Here comes a Flare Blitz. That does a decent chunk of damage. I didn't get burned, thankfully. I would have been very salty if I got Flame Body and then I got burned afterwards. So we're going to go for a Super Fang on Talonflame, and it is going to faint to the Poison, which is awesome. So that's half the team down so far, but we've still got 3 to go, and I've got 2 more Pokemon left. But this one's taken a fair bit of damage. So next Pokemon is going to be Bruxish here. You don't get to see Bruxish very often at all. Now, this is a Psychic-type Pokemon, which can be scary. Very, very scary. Oh, what Terra did I run on this? Actually, forgot to say that. I ran Terra Dark on this. So I did think about going for Terra Dark for a little bit. But I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I got to save it for Terra Normal because I need probably some bigger damage output, you know? So Bruxish is going to be Terra Fairy, because what trolls did, right? They called Bruxish Ben's love, like, and they were saying I wanted to, like, kiss the Bruxish's lips and stuff like that. But I was like, man, like, I don't know, like, okay, real honest question. Would you catch a kiss from Bruxish? Like, let's be real, yes or no question. All right, anyways, I'm gonna credit my site. I don't think that mattered. It was probably like, Strong Jaw or something like that. So that's going to be the end of Grafaiai for sure. So my last Pokemon is Grafaiai as well. We got that Terra Normal. We got Double Edge, but I could set up Sword Dance here and then go Double Edge. Knockoff and Low Kick are going to be very useless against that. Knockoff would have been good if it didn't Terra, but I'm going to have to take that risk, right? So we still got 2 more Pokemon after this. So I'm thinking I'm going to need that Sword Dance boost there just to get rid of these Pokemon. But first things first, let's go for Terra Normal. I do not want to get one-shotted by Psychic Fangs, you know? So getting them swords up, doing that dance, and boosting my attack very, very nicely. Now, Bruxish is going to use Psychic Fangs again. Still does a lot of damage, and I've got Sister Berry. So, essentially, that could probably be a 3-hit KO if I went for Sword Dance again, but I wasn't risking that because there was way too much recall damage from Double Edge to even contemplate that at all. And, since there was 2 more Pokemon left, I had to be pretty careful what was going on there. So we got Double Edge is really my only option here. We're going to take that out. We got that Terra plus 2, Terra Normal, Double Edge. No way Bruxish is living that because Bruxish is not very bulky at all. It's not a very bulky Pokemon. I think I've even tried to build a bulky one before there. But I guess it's a Pokemon that could use another form or an evolution too. That'd be really cool. Next Pokemon we got here is going to be Slither. You got to slither into them DMs. Now, we've got Double Edge here. It's like, all right, I'll go for Double Edge. That'll do a lot. Or should I go for Knockoff and Conserve? I was worried. I was like, I'm really worried here that I might die to Recall, but it actually depended on how much health this thing actually had and what kind of build it was too. I knew that Double Edge would faint. I was a little bit worried about Knockoff though. So go for Double Edge here, considering there was another Pokemon left. Slither is going to slither out, but Sand Spit is going to activate. Now watch this, ready? I lose all this health. I lived on 1 health after the Sandstorm damage. You wouldn't read about last Pokemon's Happy New Year. And I was like, all right, I can go for knockoff. I got this. I win. And then they use protect. And this set right was Choice Specs Protect, and these other moves as well. I don't think I've ever been like that salty in a while, so I'm gonna faint on 1 health to a sandstorm, bro. I could have lived that. That's just pure salt. So that is the end of the Grafaiai, and that's also the end of the battle there. I thought I had that battle right up to the end, but that's sand. That completely countered me there. So that is battle number, that was battle number 4, right? So we've got 2 more, we got battle 5, battle 6, we got battle 7, we got lots of battles today. I'm trying to give you guys lots of content, so hope you're enjoying the longer videos. I've been getting such positive feedback about that, so thank you everyone. Okay, this is a 4v4 battle, a random battle. We got a Dialga start here. Now, I was really thinking to myself, there's not a lot of point in me actually doing Sword Dance at all, or should I just wait to go for Sword Dance and then do Endeavor afterwards? So we had Dialga swap out and I went for Sword Dance. So I actually made a Dialga Origin swap with the Shroodle. So only on PIMPNITE's channel, like, you're not going to see this content anywhere else. So we got the Arceus come in. I was a little bit scared of the extreme speed, of course. I've got acrobatics, but I'm really feeling that Endeavor's going to be the play of the day here, because acrobatics is not going to faint it. And at least if I can put Arceus on 1 health, I've got one of my other Pokemon can faint. I could bring in maybe Grafaiai and go for Prankster Toxic if I don't want to waste my Shroodle. But then they went for an Earth Power there, which is curious. And a credit, not that a critical hit really mattered at all. And Shroodle's going to live on 1 health. I can actually go for Endeavor here. I was like, do they have extreme speed or not? So I've got Unburden's activated. I was like, well, I'll go for acrobatics. Let's try it. They didn't have V speed, so that was unusual. So I guess they're running Judgment, right? So like that other Arceus, they would have had a Judgment and Earth Power and some other coverage moves or a special set, right? At least there's a bit of breath of fresh air rather than, the typical stuff. So out comes Ogerpon. I was like, whoa, this could be good. I could go acrobatics here, Terra Flying Acrobatics or Gunk Shot. One of these is going to be good. I was a little bit worried about Spiky Shield though. That was something that was definitely a thought there. I know that could outspeed them, but I was like, I don't know. Should I waste my Terra or not? I've had very, very good luck with this set, but I had to be careful because there was a Dialga back there. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. So I'm going to go for the Terra Flying here, and I'm thinking that Terra Flying Acrobatics +2 in attack will be enough to take out Ogerpon, unless Wellspring can run some defensive EVs, though. That's what I was hoping it wasn't going to be, or I was going to be able to actually feint it. So Ogerpon's going to go down. Incredible stuff there. Absolutely incredible stuff. So we've got 1 Dialga left, which I know I can beat with my other Endeavor Pokemon, and we got a Dialga left. So I was like, all right, let's go for Endeavor. Let's get this W, and we're going to win this, right? So Dialga's been put on 1 health, and they use Ancient Power. So Ancient Power is going to faint my Shroodle, which is absolutely perfect. What I can do now is bring in my next Shroodle, faint the Dialga, I'll be on 1 health, right? And then I can go for Endeavor on the very last Pokemon and win there. That's going to be perfect, right? So bringing in the Shroodle, and I've got Mudshot, or I've got Nasty Plot. It's like, I'll go for Nasty Plot. The last Pokemon I can beat there. You got to see quickly what the team was. They only brought 4, and I'm going to go for that. So I went for the Nasty Plot. I outspent the Dialga, so obviously they've got everything invested in their bulk and stuff. Then they went Roar of Time. Roar of Time, and I've got that Focus Sash. So they have to recharge this turn. So I was like, wait, this is a rare opportunity, because I can go for another Nasty Plot, and then I can finish them off with Mudshot. That's the idea anyway. So I've got +4 in special attack. Like, Sludge Wave is going to drop really, really hard against their last Pokemon, or I've even got Endeavor, and I can go for that. So I've got Mudshot here to feint them. I'm ready to get the W, and then they salty cancel the battle before I can win with Shroodle. So there you go. It happens. I got a lot of cancels and a lot of rage quits with this team, which is kind of interesting because it's Shroodle, right? It ain't exactly the greatest Pokemon in the world. So if you enjoyed the video so far, people, make sure you drop a like there if you haven't already. Drop a comment. What do you think of Grafaiai and Shroodle? How's your day going? All those sort of things. So next battle here, we got a random one. We got a Greninja using that Blizzard, getting lucky, landing out in the first turn, and activating my ability. So I was a bit worried here that this would have Water Shuriken. and completely counter me. But I had to go for a sword dance anyway. I thought I may as well go for it. If I go for it, it doesn't, if I got it, so be it. I'll try something else. So I've got acrobatics. They've got, they're definitely going to get one-shotted by this. That was also Torrent. I also noticed that was Torrent too, so it wasn't its typical ability. So maybe it's got a sash or something like that. I'm thinking if I should run acrobatics or not. I was like, do I go for Gunk Shot? I'm thinking of the base powers. And I'm like, well, Gunk Shot's going to be more powerful, but if I Terra, it's not going to be more powerful here. I want to say I definitely terrored this Pokemon the most, like this Shroodle, right? So I landed a Gunk Shot, which is good. That's a quality start there. So that's Greninja down. Now, the next Pokemon to come out here after the Greninja is going to be Lucario. So I know this has got Bullet Punch or Extreme Speed. It's too obvious. Or they just think that I don't have any other moves to hit them with. Like, they've seen Gunk Shot already. So I was like, I'll go Endeavor because it's not going to faint with acrobatics. I went Endeavor and I went first. Like, oh, that'd be right. The one time I thought they're going to go for Extreme Speed. So they're going to take me out with an Aura Sphere. At least Lucario is on 1 HP. That's a good thing, right? So we're going to go back into Grafaiai here. And we're going to faint this. So this Grafaiai's got low kick. I thought, well, I outsped that with my other Pokemon. I'm confident I can outspeed this. I believe they don't have any priority moves and all. And even if they did, I mean, Extreme Speed's not going to do that much. It might do half my health, and then I'll get my berry back. And Bullet Punch is going to do donkeys anyway. So I decided to go for Sword Dance. They unloaded the mix set. They've got Stone Edge and Aura Sphere. So it is a mix set. I'm going to go for a low kick there and take out Lucario, which is good. I've got that +2 now. I'm ready to try and sweep the rest of the team. And the key word there is try, right? Next Pokemon is going to be Charizard. Like, ooh, I've got Double Edge. Maybe that's going to be my best play here. Knockoff definitely won't faint. Double Edge could be the go here against Charizard. I'm pretty fast and pretty furious. I was actually contemplating going for Terra Normal here on Charizard. Charizard isn't super bulky on the defensive side, so I decided to go for that and dropped it. So that's great. I've taken out 3 Pokemon so far, so things are going like really, really well. They're going excellent, actually. Now, the next Pokemon's Virizion. I'm like, oh, imagine my acrobatics Pokemon against this. This is absolutely destroyed, right? I've got Double Edge as well. And Double Edge is going to do a heap of damage to Virizion. Virizion's actually got a nice base special defense, but its defense is a little bit to be desired. It's also a very fast Pokemon too, so I wasn't 100% sure depending on the set. I managed to outspeed, took it out, but unfortunately Grafaiai is going to take a massive amount of recall and faint itself, but a quality performance there. So I've taken 4 Pokemon out and only lost 2, so I'm in a strong position now. I've turned the tables, things are pretty even now. So into Shroodle now, it's important to see if I can get this Endeavor going, and we've got an Archaludon. Now this is going to be a very, very countering Pokemon to my team if I can't get Endeavor going. So like, let's go for Mud Shot and Nasty Plot combination, because this is get hit very, very hard. It doesn't have very good special defense at all. And the funny thing here is they went for Electroshock, which isn't too uncommon, but they didn't have Power Herb on this set. So that meant I could go for another Nasty Plot. I was like, wow, Mudshot's probably going to faint them from here, +4. Unless they got something crazy like Assault Vest, which I don't know, they could. But anyway, so here comes the Electroshot again. I'm like, are they going to go for Electroshock after this? Or are they just going to go for a normal move? I feel like they're definitely going to go for a normal move, right? So I've got that Focus Sash, got that, and then they got Life Orb on them. Like, all right, they're not Assault Vest. I've got them. Mudshot's going to faint them from here. Easy, right? And Mudshot misses with 95% accuracy. You wouldn't read about, like, oh, I don't even, seriously, I don't even know why Mudshot is 95%. Mudshot is, the base power of Mudshot, if you're curious or you've forgotten, is 55. So it's not exactly anything amazing, but it only drops the speed by 1 stage, and it's 95%. There's no need for it to be 95% actually, but that's what happened there. So now I'm in a very, very tough spot because I've only got a Super Fang Grafaiai left, and they can just sit here and use Electroshock. Even without a Power Herb, they can increase their special attack, and I can't Toxic them or anything like that. So there wasn't a lot I was like, maybe I could go Doodle here, but that's That's not going to do much really either. So I'm going for Super Fang, and I'm knowing I'm going to need some sort of misses here. And Electroshock is going to land on my Grafaiai, and that is going to do a ton of damage taking me out. So that Mud Shot definitely cost me the game. I would say it definitely cost me the game, but that's how it goes, right? You know, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. They got a lucky win there. I'm not sure of their names. It's like two, wait, isn't it 2 characters? It's like 2 characters equals 2 letters each, right? I'm trying to remember what that name is. Anyway, we've got battle number 7, the final battle of today's video. Have you stuck around for the whole time? Have you been enjoying it? I hope you have. Let me know. This was interesting, right? We had 3 Pokemon here. They only bought 3. I think they I reckon they sort of underestimated my team. I thought, oh, I'm going to win easy. I'll just bring 3, right? So I was like, okay, that's interesting. This battle, I just want to include this battle because it made no sense whatsoever. I want you to experience this battle with me, right? So the Gengar gets outsped. Gengar got outsped without Unburdened. So already question marks are flying around my head. I'm like, what is going on right now? So now I went for Acrobatics. I took out the Gengar, right? 1 shot, easy peasy, right? No cursed body, no trolling. So that was a good start, quality start. 2 more Pokemon left. So like, things are going really well, right? Next Pokemon is going to be Sylveon. So like, well, Sylveon, I've got Terra Flying, or I've got Gunk Shot. I'll go Gunk Shot, that'll take that. Gunk Shot misses, but Sylveon used Sleep Talk. I'm like, what? There has to be, it's got to be a misclick, right? It has to be a misclick. So like, oh, I'll go Gunk Shot again, right? I have to go for that. Anyway, Gunk Shot lands this time, and Sylveon's going to faint. So I don't know, maybe they were, it had to be a definite misclick there. There's no way they thought that Sleep Talk was going to work when I was awake. Unless it's something like, there's an exception to that rule though. There's an exception to that rule is when you use Kamala with its ability Comatose. You can actually use Sleep Talk right away and select a move on your team, which is pretty cool. It's like a good way of using the Sleep Talk straight up because the Pokemon is already essentially asleep, right? So we got Gyarados coming in, and now this is the final Pokemon, by the way. I was like, okay, it's not a Moxie Gyarados. What is it possibly going to be? Now, I went for the Sludge Wave here. Sorry, not the Sludge Wave. I went for the Terra Flying on the Gyarados to try and get an Acrobatics KO because I had some pretty good luck, right? And this did great damage, but it wasn't enough because it was Intimidate, and honestly, it probably would have lived there as well, even if it didn't. I'd say it would have just lived. But anyway, they're going to feint me with a Waterfall, so that's Shroodle down. So we still got 2 Grafaiai and 2 Shroodle left. So I thought I want to see if we can I can troll this this Gyarados, right? I've got Sludge Wave, that should be enough to take it out. So I went for Sludge Wave here, but the opponent went for the Terra on their Gyarados. So I was sort of waiting to see what they would do. And it turned out that they were Terra Steel. So my Sludge Wave is not going to affect them this turn. So like that's a very perfect counter there. I'm trying to think what Steel Gyarados should be. It's kind of an odd Terra on it, isn't it? Because it's 4 times weak to electric. That'll now make it weak to fighting. I guess it's there for rock, really. So Gyarados is going to use Protect, and I went for Mud Shot. So I thought, well, I might as well use Mud Shot now. The last battle, it cost me the battle, so I'll go for Mud Shot this time. So I'm going for Mud Shot. I'm unloading, and it didn't do a lot of damage, as expected, right? It's not a very powerful move. I need Nasty Plots up. Then the Gyarados had a berry, and the berry was an Aquave berry. So, okay, this is an interesting Gyarados. I don't know what this is. So, they're going to go for Waterfall. Obviously, that's going to put me down to my Focus Sash, which is fine. This is perfectly fine. So, I was like, okay, I know what to do now. I want to see if I can disrespect this Gyarados. So, I went for Endeavor, put the Gyarados on 1 health, and then we've got a Waterfall. So, okay, what I'm going to do here on the KO, I'm going to go into my Grafaiai, but I want to go for a Doodle, right? So I'm going to go for Doodle, and then I'm going to go for a Disrespect Super Fang KO on 1 HP. So I got that in Intimidate, dropping the Gyarados' attack there. That's actually not bad in doubles. You can make use of the Doodle ability. If you like Grafaiai, I have done a moveset guide on that too, if you like it. Then they went for Thunder Wave. So this is some kind of like crazy flinching Gyarados set. I have no idea what it is, but props to them for the creativity. I'm going to go for a Super Fang here, hoping I didn't get flinched, by the way, and paralyzed. It didn't happen, and I took Gyarados out with a nice, juicy 1 HP Super Fang KO on your Piranha channel. That is the end of the video, people. I hope you enjoyed the Grafaiai and Shroodle team. It was really a lot of fun to use this team and use these unique Pokemon. Peace out, people.